In a tough standoff between Egypt's leader Mohamed Morsi and a 1,000-strong army of his opponents, it looks like the president could throw in the towel first. Morsi's aides claim there's a high chance one of the key opposition demands will be met, that being a delay to an approaching referendum on a controversial Islamic-led constitution. And joining me now live in Cairo, Cairo-based reporter Belle True. Good morning, Belle. So good to see you. So is it really likely that the Egyptian president is going to back down following more than 2 weeks of a popular uprising against him in Egypt?
What we're witnessing is some movement in the direction of the opposition forces' demands. The expat vote for Egyptians abroad was postponed till Wednesday. The Justice Minister came out yesterday and said that the referendum may be postponed here in Egypt should the opposition forces agree to meet an open dialogue without preconditions, which people on the street interpreted as losing the rest of their demands. Here behind me at the presidential palace, dozens of protesters stayed here in a spontaneous sit-in overnight after we witnessed extraordinary scenes where hundreds and thousands of protesters stormed the Republican Guards, broke through the concrete barriers and continued their very loud protest outside the presidential gates, calling for the end of this constitution, which they see as illegitimate as it was written by an Islamist-dominated constitutional assembly, and also actually calling for Morsi to step down, as they now see him to be what they were saying on the streets was he was showing dictatorial tendencies. The opposition forces themselves, the coalition, the National Salvation Front, they have said that they will not open dialogue with the president until he listens to the rest of their demands. So really, we're still here in a deadlock in Egypt.
Oh, she's Belle True, live from Cairo. Belle, many thanks indeed. And Mohamed Morsi is heading down the same wrong road as his predecessor, believes Hoda Osman, who is the president of the Arab and Middle Eastern Journalists Association.
There's lots of feelings against the Muslim Brotherhood by a lot of Egyptians, especially because of the role they played right after the revolution. A lot of people saw that they were close to the army, and the army was responsible for a lot of the problems that we were seeing. But I think that they're seeing another dictator in the making. They're seeing another Mubarak, and Morsi is really making the same mistakes that Mubarak did during the January 25th revolution. We're seeing him being too slow to react to people's demands. It's a fast-moving situation, yet he is very slow to react and respond. His speech, instead of calming people down, he actually enraged the people more. When protesters went down to the streets, the main demand, it was clear that the main demand was to cancel this constitutional declaration. But today, if you see the footage out of Egypt, you're hearing them asking Morsi to quit, asking him to leave, just like they've asked Mubarak.